Zombies in my workplace. Hi, this is me, Sebastian Armida. I'm a programmer and I like monkey stickers on my laptops. This might be you. You're a programmer or a designer, you work with a group of people, and you try hard to change things at work, a new technique, tool, or a better way to do your work. But change is hard, so you try harder. You want to succeed, but not only for you. When you get better, your groups get better. But introducing change is a long journey. Will it be worthy? Well, do or do not. There is no try. So what's in our way to change? The man. The man is your boss. The man is the boss of your boss. The man shuffles the resources around to get stuff done. Look at you. You're so happy. Don't even know that you're a resource right now. The man does not care about your needs. The man has all the needs, and none of them are something that our small brains will ever understand. What else is in our way? Red tape. Red tape is what the man built to protect himself from you. The red tape will make sure that you will never try to innovate or create anything outside the boundaries. The red tape will seduce you and you will hide yourself into it. This is not part of my job description, you'll say. I need to ask permission first. What else is in our way? Co-workers. Co-workers, you say? I work with zombies. All of us leave our brains by the door at 9 a.m. and pick it back up at 5 p.m. on our way out. But it's normal. Look at us. We overworked, we're underpaid, we're pissed off, we're zombies. This is playing Doom in nightmare mode. So yes, it sucks. We want this. This doesn't mean that we want to fly to work. Not that yeah, that would be cool. But more that we want to work with a purpose, that what we do makes sense and we're doing our best. Martin Fowler wrote this a few years back. Change your organization or change your organization. Well, even if you decide to make the jump, there are no guarantees that you'll be better off at your new place. Is there something that we can do to be better off regardless if you decide to make the jump or not? Let's look at it. Friends. They are the people that will help you and give you support when trying to introduce change. Not all coworkers are friends, but some of them are, and you know you can rely on them. But we're going to need more than a small circle of friends to make this happen. So let's go social, but not this type of social. Social is not going around and making Facebook and Twitter friends of all your colleagues. It's about going to go have lunch at the cafeteria, taking time to talk to people, an extra minute at the coffee break. It's about going to happy hours and meeting somebody new, meeting more people, and avoiding zombies. But how? Let's go on this little detour called How to Make Friends. Start with small talk, weather, sports, and the latest link on Hacker News. The goal is to discover their passion, what makes them tick. We'll find somebody interesting, I'm sure. But maybe more zombies, and that's okay, because at some points we find new friends. And we'd be like, yay, new friends, and that would be fantastic. But now what? Well, we'll do whatever friends do. We'll start bitching about everything that is around us. We'll love bitching. We'll think bitching is so much fun. We will relate, we will high-five each other, and we'll pretend we own the world. But it will get old pretty quickly, so we gotta stop. If we're gonna spend 8 to 10 hours a day in an office, we better start looking for alternatives. What are the things around us that we'd like to change? As much as we love bitching, we'll have to stop and do something about it. But how? I guess I already said it, by doing something about it. Here are 10 things that don't require a lot of preparation to get going. Start small, pick your favorite, experiment with it, continue or try something else. Don't try to do them all at once. Invite your friends and your new friends, extend a circle, and bring back zombies from death. So here we go. A book club. Pick a book, do it over lunch, find your cadence, create excitement because you're learning something new and you're not alone, so you can share it with other people. Hash Rocket is mainly a Ruby on Rails shop in Florida that streams their book clubs over the web every Tuesday. You can participate by chat or just observe how they run theirs. Storytime. This is a clue for me to tell you how we did it at work. We went through test-driven development training a few years back and ended up with a lot of copies of Martin Fowler's book Refactoring. The majority of us didn't pass the first chapter, so we decided to pick that book as our first book. After that, we just voted on next choice. It's easier to get it if they have an ebook version. Cinema. These are sessions when we watch recorded talks from conferences, any relevant conference in your field. This is great because you get to listen to interesting people and relevant people where you work. Get that fuzzy, warm feeling that we're not alone in the world. We get reassured that we're not that special and more people have the same problem like us. Otherwise, it won't be recorded as a conference talk, right? Our main two sources are InfoQ and Confrix. Story time. In our case, we decided to watch talks about testing, so we call our event Test Cinema. We got people to sign in for the random prize of getting popcorn while watching the talk. Pair programming is a practice where two developers share one workstation to work. I found that pair programming makes me a better developer. We usually come up with a better design, less code, and less bugs. If you're not doing pair programming already, start small. Maybe pick some core hours to work, or a specific feature you want to start with. Pair programming will make you a better programmer, and so will your team. We have been pair programming for a few years, and it's hard to go back to solo. Even if a team decides that they'd rather go solo, I have found hard to keep the scheduled code reviews and the fact that it feels already too late when we find an issue during that review. Solo programming builds silos of expertise. Pair programming breaks those silos. Code Critique is an event where we get together to look at someone else's work. It's like walking through a museum and looking at the work of masters. But no need to be overwhelmed. Pick 5 to 100 lines from that master and study them. You can find them in open source projects or the framework that you currently use. You'll find that there's different ways to approach issues and that are all valid. Story time here is that when we started doing those sessions, we got distracted by the meaning of the word critique. We thought most of the code sucked because we could not understand it. We found ourselves asking the question why and trying to answer it too many times. So instead of following that deep end, we had to think of it as code tasting, like wine tasting, smelling the flavors, enjoying the color, but not over-analyzing it, just experiencing it. Code katas are events where we practice our coding skills. Like martial arts katas, when you go to a dojo and repeat the same movements over and over. We do them in groups and compare notes afterwards. So pick a cadence. Choose what you're practicing, test during development, pair programming techniques, deeper language knowledge, and don't worry about it, because it's a practice you can throw the code afterwards. The goal is to make production code easier to write since you already know how to do it, you've been practicing it. In our case, we usually cycle through our katas focus. We try legacy code for a while, then new code, then small puzzles. All of them help our ability to deliver code. We usually hold them every Tuesday for at least 1 hour. But we recently switched to Wednesday, so we could call them WTF. Really is a code name for why are we not doing this every day. Startup lunch is something that we started this summer as a way to stop bitching about work. Every day during lunch, we pitch an idea about a startup. Not only you improve your marketing skills, but also your architectural skills, since sometime we go into how it could be implemented. Maybe an idea will stick. Maybe we'll be rich. Who knows? But it's a fun and creative way to have lunch. Yes, ideas are cheap and execution is hard, but they keep the zombies away. And one day I will fly away with this jetpack that I just pitch as an idea, and it will be awesome. Yes. Lightning talks are fun. Basically, it's 5 minutes, whatever topic interested you, anything goes. You find your cadence for the recurring meetings. And for us, it's a great way to discover new people and what makes them tick. In our case, we have a wiki page where we keep our topics, and when we have more than 5 topics, we schedule a lightning talk round. User groups. They are fun to go to. You step out of the office and find people that are very passionate about what they do. They sometimes wear pocket protectors like me, sometimes they decide not to show them. Networking is the most important part of these events. It's a perfect balance between learning and drinking. Story time here is that going to user groups is awesome, but it's even better to start one if it doesn't exist or give help to existing ones by providing location of sponsorship. Conferences. They don't need to be big and far away. Look for local conferences that you can attend. If user groups are about networking, this is networking plus. If user group about drinking and learning, this is even more. Go to conferences with your team. Because of it, we were able to introduce new technologies and new practices at work. When everyone is there to hear the same message and get pumped up about the same reason, it's easy to go back to work and give it a try. And the last one, side projects. This is when it's okay to show your hippie side. It's cool. No one is watching. It's a freedom to use whatever you want, however you want, without justification, just because it's a valid reason. It recharges your battery, it releases the frustration you may have at work. The story time here is that my side projects never actually are finished. They normally don't work and I release very little of them. I just don't want to deal with releasing. You're just coding for the fun of coding. That's it. So you might be thinking, yes, Sebastian, this is great, but, well, let me tell you something before we go there. Look at this panda. This panda has no time. He is so sad. He cannot do everything we talked about so far. Hey, no worries. You don't have to do it all. You don't have to do anything from this. I understand we all have deadlines, families, we all do other stuff other than coding, but please don't use the time excuse anymore. Use the energy instead. Find the motivation behind your actions or no actions. Time is something we will never have. But do we have the energy to try it this week? I think that's a deeper question. Hey, how can I justify the time that I'm going to use to my employer? Maybe the easiest thing to do is start at lunch. But think of it this way. The time that you spend becoming better at what you do is not only for you, but it's for them as well. You cannot depend on your employer to give you education and training. They are not there for that. So let's do this. Start small. You don't need to ask permission if you want to start a book club. Just do it. Go. Seriously. You don't need to ask permission to organize a code kata. Act. Do something about it. Have a better purpose at work. Don't travel alone. Come on, do it. If you have any questions or feedback, my Twitter handle is on the top. My email is at the bottom. Thank you.